session, we have onboarded quite a few number of NBFCs in Daksh application. So, for the sake of everybody's information, everybody's awareness, let me first talk about certain rules which we need to follow during our session. First of all, as you can see, hundreds of users are joining this session. So we have kept everybody on mute. हम सभी यूजर को म्यूट पे रखा है और ये रिक्वेस्ट है कि हैंड रेज मत कीजिए या फिर अनम्यूट करने का रिक्वेस्ट मत कीजिए, क्योंकि हम लोग पार्टिसिपेंट को म्यूट पे रखते हैं इसलिए if we allow them to unmute and share their points, it becomes chaotic. So, what instead of that, what we are doing, whatever clarifications you need, whatever questions you have in mind, whatever answers you need, you please share that through the chat box. अब देख सकते हैं बॉटम राइट कॉर्नर पे chat box है. If you can click on the chat icon, chat box will open and you can post all your queries, all your doubts. ऐसे मत सोचिए कि ये क्या सुनने में कैसा लगेगा, whether I'll be laughed at. Please do not be under such impression. आपका मन में जो भी है, you can ask the questions. Our support team will collect all the related queries together and we will discuss that. तो आज का जो सेशन है, इस सेशन में हम लोग क्या करते हैं आपको बता देते हैं. सबसे पहले वी विल गिव यू अ वेरी ब्रीफ प्रेजेंटेशन ऑन दक्ष एप्लीकेशन इटसेल्फ. What is this application all about? Why RBI is pushing this application, and what are the roles from the supervised entities that we are expecting? After that, we will run you through all the workflows which are supported here for supervised entities. आपके एंड पे आपको जो जो काम इस एप्लीकेशन में करना पड़ेगा, वो सारे वर्कफ्लोज का एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन, लाइव डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन आपको दिखाया जाएगा. एंड आफ्टर दैट, for after each and every module, we will have detailed question answer session. In that question answer session, we will take up your questions from the chat box. We will not allow any person to unmute and tell his queries. We will take those questions from chat box. Because if we allow you to unmute, then hardly I can give you the chance to ask 2 questions or 3 questions, because we have to be fair to all the participants. But instead of that, if you are allowed to type in your question in the chat box, then you can ask 10, 15, 20, as many questions as you want, and all the related queries will be taken up together and answered at a go, so that the most number of answer questions are addressed. So that is why we do not allow the participants to unmute, just to ensure that maximum number of questions are attended. So before we start, as you can see in the presentation, we have indicated, please update the display name. If you right click on your name from the participants panel, then you will see there is an option that calls edit display name. Please click on that edit display name and indicate the name of your organization. Now you might be associated with multiple entities. Indicate the name of any one entity. If you are tagged with 3, 5, 4, 10 entities, indicate the name of any one entity. Okay, so that will help us when we will call out the questions. That will help us to identify the person who had asked this question. Now, as you can remember in the mail, in the reminder mail also, we have indicated that our session start time is 2:30 p.m. and we had requested participants to join at least 5 minutes prior to the scheduled time. But we are seeing lots of users are still joining, and we are receiving requests. Our support team have confirmed there are requests from the end users. They are still joining. So this is a quarterly session and we do not want any participant to miss any of the points. We will wait for 5 more minutes. We'll wait till 2:40. Now it's 2:35, so we'll wait till 2:40, and from 2:40 we'll start. Meanwhile, please indicate your organization name as shown in the display. So we'll connect back at 2:40. Thank you. Please confirm. Anybody? Basically, the overview of why we need this application, ये दक्ष application क्या है और supervised entities का इसमें क्या expected roles have. So first of all, what is the purpose of this application? This workflow, this application, Daksh application, this is being hailed as the workflow management tool for all the supervisory functions. आरबीआई का जो supervisory functions है, जो इंस्पेक्शन होता है, उसके बाद कंप्लायंस, कंप्लेन रिलेटेड थिंग, साइबर इंसिडेंट रिलेटेड थिंग, शेयरिंग ऑफ डिफरेंट कम्युनिकेशन एडवाइजरीज, जितना भी वर्कफ्लोज है, वो सारे वर्कफ्लोज इससे पहले मैनेज होता था ईमेल से. Now we are shifting towards one centralized application which will take care of all these things in an automated manner. And the reason we call it as workflow management tool is basically because of the feature that allows whatever approvals are required, those can be taken care in the application itself. For example, if RBI wants to gather some information, if RBI has published some return or published some compliance for which you need to furnish your responses, then that response may go through different layers of approval. एक यूजर जो नोट को इनिशिएट करेंगे, दूसरे यूजर जो उनको रिव्यू और अप्रूव करेंगे. So this workflow management is allowed in the application itself. In RBI also, when we ask some information from the entities, it is not a single person's decision. One person proposes the decision, the workflow, another person reviews it. So it's a team work. So that workflow management is entirely supported in this application. And since you need not have any approval outside the application itself builds institutional memory for the supervised entities as well as for RBI. Since this application contains confidential information, जितने भी supervisory function related data है, for example your inspection report, आपका compliances, these are considered to be confidential information. These are very core to your organization, and this type of information should not land at someone's hand who is not intended recipient for it. That is why in this application we have introduced a series of security measures. First of all, you have to log in through two-factor authentication through one-time password, which is going to be delivered to your registered mobile number. तो ये जो two-factor authentication है, this will ensure कि only the authorized personnel are able to log in, and mere login is not sufficient in this application. Mere onboarding, mere login is not sufficient. Each and every person is given which certain roles and rights which ensure which type of information or which type of activities will be done by that user. And this application is considered as the single source of all supervisory data, where RBI and all the supervised entities are on a common platform, and it also allows multi-level approval facility. तो हमारा जो दक्ष एप्लीकेशन है, दिस दक्ष nomenclature has come from the Sanskrit word which means competent, expert, efficient, which is expected of any supervisory functionality that RBI carries out. And Daksh application is accessible over internet. It can be accessed through any browser. It works best in Chrome, but it can be accessed in any browser, and you can access the application from your home, from your office, from your laptop, desktop, anywhere. Now, access for the SE users, first point is username would be your complete email address, which you had provided for the user onboarding. That would be your username. And the second point, which is written in bold, that is very, very important. Password is created by the user. So we have noticed some common misconception among lots of users that we have received the message of onboarding, but we have not received any default credential. Let me clear it here. There is no concept of default credential in Daksh application. I repeat, there is no concept of default credential in Daksh application. You will not be given any default username or password by Daksh team. The email ID on which you had received the mail that your account has been created is your user ID or username. You need to key in the complete email ID. Complete email address means both the portions before and after the at the rate, both prefix and suffix, the entire email address. And the password will be created by the user during first time login. जब यूजर पहली बार लॉगिन कर रहे हैं उसी टाइम पे उनको फॉरगॉट पासवर्ड पे क्लिक करके अपना पासवर्ड सेट करना है। कोई भी डिफॉल्ट पासवर्ड नहीं दिया जाता है। आपको पहली बार लॉगिन के टाइम पे ही आपका पासवर्ड खुद ही सेट करना है बाय क्लिकिंग ऑन द लिंक फॉरगॉट पासवर्ड। And once you set your password, that password will be authenticated via one time password which is going to be delivered in your registered mobile number. So we will show you will the entire demonstration how exactly you can set your password during your first time login as well as at any point of time thereafter. Now when you will face the issues, let me show you the screen details for the help desk. When you will face issue, when you are going to face any type of issues in the application, you need to send a mail to the registered email id, that is dakshsupportmum@rbi.org.in. ये जो मेल आईडी दिखा रहा है स्क्रीन पे, आई रिक्वेस्ट यू टू काइंडली नोट इट डाउन, और इफ यू कैन टेक अ स्नैप, you can take photo. This is the mail ID where you should send all your queries or issues. Daksh support mum@rbi.org.in. You can mark CC to daksh@rbi.org.in, and at the below in the yellow background you can see the help desk phone numbers. So Daksh help desk phone numbers are operational 361 days every year. Not 361 exactly, it's 309, barring 52 Sundays also. So we are working on all the weekdays from 9:30 to 7:30 p.m. and on all Saturdays and holidays at Mumbai. So all the Monday to Friday we are working, all Monday to Saturday actually, all Monday to Saturday, and also holidays at Mumbai we are working. These are the different phone numbers. You can reach out to the different phone numbers. But whenever you face an issue, first please take a screenshot of the page where you are facing the issue, give a detailed description of the issue which you are facing. Please do not give generic statement like Daksh is not working. I am not able to see anything. I am not able to log in. Please give the error message that you are seeing, or when you are not seeing anything, give a screenshot of that blank page so that the support engineers can identify what are the issues and they will be ready to help you in a more prepared manner. अगर जेनरिक स्टेटमेंट देते हैं कि इश्यूज इन दक्ष, तो इश्यूज इज अ वेरी जेनरिक टर्म, एवरीथिंग अंडर द सन कम्स गेट्स कवर्ड बाय द वर्ड इश्यूज, तो उसमें इंजीनियर को ये पता करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है कि इशू है क्या. So we have to understand the expansion of the application, the huge magnitude. There are more than 25,000 users. So please be as much specific as you can, and that will reduce the turnaround time. After you have sent the email, if you do not receive any reply within 24 hours or maybe 48 hours, then you can give a call to these phone numbers, what you are saying on the screen. So I'll hold the screen for 5 more seconds so that you can note it down. Now moving to the next slide. फर्स्ट टाइम लॉगिन, जो मैं पहले भी बता रहा था कि देयर इज नो कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ डिफॉल्ट क्रेडेंशियल एंड यूजर्स आर एक्सपेक्टेड टू set their password during first time login themselves. So how would a user set their user for the first time? First of all, when you will try to log in, this is the screenshot of the login page of our application. You need to enter the complete email address, both prefix and suffix. You need to enter the complete email address. In this example, it is 1tem05 at the rate te.com. Some sample example we are giving. You need to give the captcha for security check. You need to keep the password field blank because there is no default password. So keep the second field blank, put your username, give captcha, and click on forgot password. Once you click on forgot password, in the next page, there will be a pop-up asking you for your new password. Please give the password and confirm that it's same. Click on reset, and that is going to be authenticated via the one-time password which is going to be delivered in your registered mobile number. After you have entered the OTP, you click on verify, your password will be set. So in this manner, not only for the first time login, but thereafter, at any point of time, if you forgot your password, this is the way out to reset your password. Once we start our demonstration live, we will show this process as well. Now moving to the next part, user creation form. जब भी आपका कोई भी नया यूजर ऑनबोर्ड करना है, आज के सेशन में हम लोग ज्यादातर बेस लेयर एनबीएफसी को ही बुलाया है. So for base layer NBFC users, Daksh support team performs the admin related tasks. Daksh support team onboards those onboard so those users and get their roles and privileges managed. So you need not onboard any new user. You need not give them any roles, any privileges, any rights. If any new user needs to be onboarded, you just send us the details of the user in this user creation form. I think this user creation form is available with everyone. If anybody is missing, if anybody is not having this form, please let us know over the chat box. We will ensure that this form is sent to all the users. Whoever are attending this training session will be sending this user creation form for your easy reference. Now this user creation form, this will capture which user is going to be onboarded, which are the roles required for this user, and this document needs to be kept for future verification purpose. हम लोगों का जो बेस लेयर एनबीएफसी यूजर्स है यूजुअली बहुत ही छोटा होता है, एक ही यूजर सारे काम करता है, एक या दो ही यूजर रहता है. एंड ऐसा भी होता है कि यही दो तीन यूजर चार पांच डिफरेंट एंटिटीज को एक ही साथ देख रहे हैं. सो दैट इज पॉसिबल. सो देयर शुड नॉट बी वेरी बल्क यूजर क्रिएशन फॉर्म. अगर दो या तीन लोगों का ही होगा आपका ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, सो प्लीज कीप देम हैंडी. इफ एनी न्यू यूजर जॉइन्स इन और इफ एनी एक्सिस्टिंग यूजर इट्स इट्स रिmoved, leaves the organization or for any other reason, then that user account needs to be deactivated. तो वो रिक्वेस्ट भी आप हमें दक्ष सपोर्ट MUM में मेल करके भेजिएगा. नाउ मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट पार्ट, ओवरव्यू ऑफ द मॉड्यूल्स. ये जो एप्लीकेशन है, ये एप्लीकेशन के कई सारे हिस्से हैं, कई सारे पार्ट्स है, कई सारे मॉड्यूल्स है. नाउ व्हिच आर दिस मॉड्यूल्स? These modules are for the different supervisory functions which RBI is conducting. तो आरबीआई के कई सारे सुपरवाइजरी फंक्शंस है, जैसे इंस्पेक्शन है, कंप्लायंस है, रिटर्न है, साइबर इंसिडेंट रिपोर्टिंग, कंप्लेन, कम्युनिकेशन, कई सारे फंक्शनलिटीज है. एंड अकॉर्डिंगली सुपरवाइज्ड एंटिटीज आल्सो टेक पार्ट इन दोस फंक्शनलिटीज. सो अकॉर्डिंगली we have designed this application in such a manner that each and every workflow, each and every supervisory function is supported in a specific module. तो इसमें से जो सबसे important module है वो है user management module, because it defines how a user is going to be onboarded, how a user is going to participate in different workflows in the application. तो इस एप्लीकेशन में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट जो है वो है रोल. रोल मतलब राइट, प्रिविलेज, आपका क्या एक्सेस राइट है. दक्ष में आपका ऑनबोर्डिंग हो गया, लेकिन दक्ष में आप क्या काम करेंगे और कैसे करेंगे वो डिफाइंड होता है रोल से. तो डिफरेंट मॉड्यूल के लिए डिफरेंट रोल्स अवेलेबल है, और आपके पास वो रोल अगर नहीं है तो आप उस वर्कफ्लो में पार्टिसिपेट कर ही नहीं सकते. दैट इज द आइडिया. नाउ coming to the modules, user management, as you can see, there is no user management task for the base layer NBFC in this application. We are managing the user management related tasks. We means that Daksh support team is managing the user management related tasks for base layer NBFC, only for base layer NBFC users. So if you need any new user to be onboarded, any existing user to be removed, then you please send mail to Daksh support mum@rbi.org.in. जो बेस लेयर एनबीएफसी के लिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट मॉड्यूल है दक्ष एप्लीकेशन में, दैट इज रिटर्न मॉड्यूल. Now, return can be of two types. Many of you already are submitting some static returns in SIMS portal. So that will be continued. We are not discontinuing SIMS, and the purpose of SIMS and Daksh application is quite different. We'll come to that discussion later. For the time being, let us focus on which type of returns are managed in Daksh application. Return can be of two types. One is static return, statutory return, which has certain set frequency, and you know the set questionnaire. At the periodic interval, you submit your position or your responses to that static return. So those static returns are taken care in SIMS portal, and they are not part of Daksh. They will continue to be taken care through SIMS portal. In Daksh, we take only ad hoc returns. As the name suggests, this type of returns are as and when required basis, are on the base, and they are not known prior hand to even RBI users that when they will need this information. RBI undertakes different types of survey, different types of policy notes are provided, submitted to the top management, different type of market intelligence are gathered from time to time, and accordingly RBI में बहुत सारे टाइम एडहॉक बेसिस पे डेटा गैदरिंग की जरूरत होता है. सो इसलिए इस टाइप ऑफ डेटा गैदरिंग को हम लोग बोलते हैं ऑन टैप गैदरिंग. जब जरूरत पड़े इंफॉर्मेशन मांगते हैं हम सुपरवाइज्ड एंटिटीज से. दिस टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन गैदरिंग इज facilitated through Daksh application. So you need AC return maker and AC return checker role to submit the information to RBI. In this regard, let me tell you one important aspect, that is, in Daksh application, each and every workflow is governed via maker checker mechanism. As we know, maker and checker means one person will initiate, another person will approve. So whatever information RBI is asking, to submit that information, you need at least two different persons. One person will perform the role of maker, another person will perform the role of checker. Now, if in your organization you are the only person who is looking after all the things, then also you will require two different email IDs at least. अगर इंसान एक ही है तो भी कम से कम एप्लीकेशन में दो अलग यूजर आईडी की जरूरत पड़ेगी, नहीं तो आप कोई भी इंफॉर्मेशन आरबीआई को सबमिट नहीं कर पाएंगे दक्ष एप्लीकेशन के थ्रू. Now, next module is compliance module. Our SSM teams conduct inspections every year, and out of those inspection reports, we start the compliance management. So there would be action paras on which the supervised entities are expected to submit their responses that they have taken these corrective actions. So their para may please be treated as complied with. Now, whether or not that para should be treated as complied with is the decision of the inspection teams, SSM teams. But this entire cycle, issuance of action para, response submission, then analysis of those responses by RBI, treating the para as complied, not complied, this entire thing part of management cycle. So you need AC compliance maker and AC compliance checker. All the roles which you are seeing at the right hand side of the screen, those roles are given to the user by Daksh support team. So you need not worry about these roles. Which role I should have, which how to set those roles. आपको ये सब चिंता करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. दक्ष सपोर्ट टीम जब यूजर ऑनबोर्ड करते हैं तब ये सारे रोल यूजर को देखकर ही ऑनबोर्ड करता है. So when you will be onboarded, you will see all these roles. There is no need to worry about, and we will also show you in our demonstration part how you can check your roles and privileges. दिग्गज को जाके जरा बोलो तो अभी उसका हो गया कुछ तो. Next is inspection module. This is the bread and butter of the inspection teams in RBI, the SSM teams. But for the supervised entities, the workflow is limited. In inspection module, they are supposed to submit only the indent items. As you know, in supervisory parlance, we call the information which are related pertaining to any inspection as indent. So those indent submission, RBI may call for different indent during or before the starting of inspection, and they would be asking this information which you need to furnish in the application itself. You need the roles of inspection maker and inspection checker. Next is cyber incident reporting. Cyber incident reporting is one such module in which the workflow is initiated by the supervised entity user. So for all other modules, return, compliance, inspection, complaint, communication, ये सारे मॉड्यूल में आरबीआई से वर्कफ्लो इनिशिएट होता है और सुपरवाइज्ड एंटिटी उसका रिस्पॉन्स देता है. लेकिन साइबर इंसिडेंट रिपोर्टिंग एक ऐसा मॉड्यूल है जिसमें वर्कफ्लो शुरू ही होता है सुपरवाइज्ड एंटिटीज से. तो सुपरवाइज्ड एंटिटीज में हम लोग का साइबर सिक्योरिटी के रिगार्डिंग दिस circular traditional that whenever there is any cyber incident identified in any of the supervised entities, they are supposed to report it. They are mandated to, not supposed to. I should use the word mandated to. They are mandated to report it to the regulator within 6 hours of detection. So when you are reporting any cyber incident, what are the important information that you are going to report? First of all, the functional impact. आपका इस साइबर इंसिडेंट से ऐसा कोई सर्विस डाउन था. What are the financial impact? Whether there was any loss, if you are customer facing entity, whether there is any loss to the customer, or if you are even not a customer facing entity, then also how much loss has occurred to the organization itself. Next, what are the communicational aspects? Whether our cyber emergency response team has been analyzed, has been reported this incident, whether law enforcing agencies have been communicated regarding this incident, and what is the root cause analysis? A incident हुआ ही क्यों? What is the cyber expert team saying? What are the corrective measures that you are taking so that this incident does not recur in future? So all these information are collected in cyber reporting, and there is a dedicated group within AI, cyber security and IT risk group, CSIT group, who looks after, who analyzes this reporting, and on the basis of the experience gathering, they may time to time issue certain cyber security alert, advisories, etc. Next, there is complaint module. और complaint module का भी same चीज है. This can be of two types. One type of complaint is customer service related complaint which are dealt by banking ombudsman officers in CMS portal, and they would be continued to be dealt in the CMS portal. In addition to that, there are certain other generic type of complaints which are dealt by the SSM teams in Department of Supervision. So those type of complaints are dealt in Daksh application. If you receive any complaint from RBI, then you need to furnish your response. Before closing any complaint or before taking any decision based on any complaint, RBI always gives the chance to the supervised entities to furnish their response. We never take any decision ex parte. Hence, if you have received any complaint, please furnish the responses within the due time to RBI through Daksh application. नेक्स्ट इज कम्युनिकेशन मॉड्यूल. कम्युनिकेशन मॉड्यूल को एक्सेस करने के लिए आपको कोई रोल नहीं चाहिए. इवन इफ यू आर जस्ट ऑनबोर्डेड, यू डू नॉट हैव एनी रोल, देन ऑल्सो यू कैन receive communication from RBI. So through communication module, we publish different types of circulars, advisories, alert, and this communication module is a broadcast channel. That means we are not expecting any response from you. We are simply broadcasting the message for your information, and you are expected to take necessary actions if any. But we are not expecting that you will reply back to us that we have completed it. It is just a one-way channel of communication. So whatever I had been discussing during last 15 minutes, we have given them in a tabular list here. In all such modules, we also have higher authority review process, but we are not discussing that because in base layer NBFCs, we usually go by maker checker. For big bank, commercial banks, and UCBs and other organizations where the number of users are more and the layers of approval are also more, their higher authority optional workflow is available. Now, the most important points, the roles. One user can have multiple roles. One role can be given to multiple users. Make a check. So, role assignment and role revoking is the subject of the support team. They are supposed to do it. You need not worry about that. For all the transactions, maker checker approval is mandatory. Maker would be initiating the transaction, and checker would be reviewing and approve that. Now we are giving both the maker and checker roles to all the users, but the system will ensure that even if a user has both the roles, a person cannot initiate one transaction and review and approve the same. तो ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा मेरे पास मेकर चेकर दोनों रोल है इसलिए मैं खुद कुछ इनिशिएट किया कुछ ट्रांजैक्शन इनिशिएट किया और मैं उसको अप्रूव कर दिया इसलिए कोई भी ट्रांजैक्शन के लिए कम से कम दो डिफरेंट ईमेल एड्रेस बहुत जरूरी है. New user onboarding or role assignment for base layer NBFC users can only be done by RBI, and request for new user onboarding should be associated with change request form. So, thank you for your patient hearing. We have come to the conclusion of the presentation, but that is not all. We are now going to show you the actual demonstration of this entire application, how it all goes, how different workflows are tied with each other, how the supervised entities are expected to perform. So we'll start with the login page. We'll start how to set your password during first time login, and thereafter we'll run you through different modules. So I'd request my colleague Sri Dipraj Patil to share his screen and give us the demonstration. Meanwhile, I would request you to kindly put all your queries in the chat box so that during the discussion we can take those questions and it will be helpful. There will be knowledge sharing among all of us, and one person's query would be helpful for every other person to clarify their doubts. So please put all questions in the chat box. Over to you, Dipraj.
Is my screen visible to you all? Okay, so give me a thumbs up if my screen is audible. Sorry, my screen is visible and audio is audible to you all. Okay, thank you, thank you, thanks for the confirmation. Uh, yeah, thanks. Okay, so we will just go through the first, as I think sir definitely said you that. Okay, thanks for the confirmation. We can do it now. Okay. So by Daksh, there will not be any default credential will be provided to any user. So as soon as you report onboarded to a Daksh application, so you will receive a default credential, a system generated mail on your mailbox, where you supposed to um, send a receive. There will be your user ID. Once you enter that user ID and enter a correct captcha in that, like that, once you log into this once you open this particular land page, this is a home page login page, or in that home page, once you enter a correct captcha, some problem. Okay. That's okay, so this kind of hyperlink will open there. Once you click on that hyperlink, means after entering a captcha, once you click on that hyperlink, one page will open there, which will confirm your password. once new to set new password, because Dakshim never provide any default credential to any user. So what you have to do is, once you receive that mail, you have to copy that username, you have to paste here in username area, you have to enter a correct captcha, and you have to click on that forget password text. So yeah, blue color text. So once you click on that, system will navigate you to a next page. System will navigate to a next page, which is minute. System will navigate you to a next page where you have to enter your current password, means new password, and confirm it again. So you will receive a OTP on your mobile phone. So once you enter authenticate valid OTP, then you will be able to say, after OTP validation or verification, your password will be set. So once that done, you will be able to log in into a Daksh application. So once you enter correct valid email ID, valid captcha, you have to click on that forget password link. Then you will receive one new page will open there, where you have to confirm your new password, and where you have to confirm OTP. Once you enter that correct information, then your new password will be set, new credential will be set. After that, you will have to, yeah, after that you can use your credentials. So once you log in into the application successfully, once you log in into the application successfully, so this particular screen is visible here. So this kind of things will be there. Yeah, so this is the home page of the Daksh application. So you will land after a successful login, you will land on this page. So currently this page is revamped and on everyone's screen from yesterday night. We just introduced this new screen, so you will be able to see this new home page. Yesterday morning, there was one clumsy dashboard where in a notification panel, in this panel there was only the list of notification, there was only the list of communication, and there was only the list of to-do tasks. There was not this graphical representation or any in a graph or any proper segregation of notification. Now we just introduced this particular thing, we just revamped this homepage and add some more features in that, where you can see view all this particular the list of communication. So all bubble, now in a notification panel there are three bubble: followed, reminder, and all. So this all bubble represent the list of all notification which we have received. So what exactly the notification about? So notification, you will receive a notification there which are associated with your task or the information you must be aware. Suppose your teammate, now you are in your team or your colleague, somebody perform any task and he submitted to RBI. So what exactly he has submitted, so you will receive a notification. So because you are the team member and you must be aware about what exactly going on at Daksh related to your bank. So about your entity, whatever any submission is done, whatever is the thing is pending, so you will receive that particular information there in all bubble section or all bubble this particular. Now this particular overlay will contain only the 25 list of notification. After 25 notification list here, okay. I just find one no comment that I'm not audible to you all. Am I audible to you all? Will you please confirm? Okay, thanks. No, yes, no. So I think more than 90% of response I just received, yes. So I think there's some speaker problem or something. So kindly check on your end. Okay. Yeah, so this particular overlay will contain only 25 list of notification. This particular blue color and this dot indicate that this particular communication or notification you didn't gone through it. You didn't read this. It's unread for you. That's why this is. So once you read that particular communication, you can click on that. So once you click, that will be grayed out because it's no more new for you. It's already being read from your side. So if you are interested, now there are almost 293 sorry 236 notification in that. So I'm not interested to in all of them. Some only I'm interested only 10 of notification which are associated to my task or which are associated to my modules. I will be only interested in those tasks. So what I will do, if I'm interested only one or specific task, so I will click on that notification panel, click on that star. So this star indicates that this allow me to follow that particular communication like a mail chain. So now if we are interested to follow any particular mail chain, so in a Outlook, we just follow that, we just flag out that. So same similar concept is here we are following. If we are interested in any notification chain, which must be segregated or copied somewhere, so we can click on that follow button. So once we click on that follow, so all that notification which has a common ID, so all that communication notification will be copied into followed bubble. Earlier here was a, as you can see, earlier here was a one count of notification in a followed bubble, but now we can see it increased by 2 because we followed extra. So whatever follow on whichever notification I'm interested in, on whichever task I'm interested in, I will just follow. Then system will give me a separate list of which I followed and which I'm interested in. So these kind of features we just introduced in the my notification panel as per the new revamp and new design. Now we can see second panel is RBI communication. So when RBI communication, this panel is important for you. So whenever any communication is published by RBI to you, means RBI officers publish any communication to all banks. RBI officers publish any particular advisory, particular circular to selected banks or all banks. So whenever any communication is published for your bank, at that time it will appear. Some of you will be able to see that communication. Some of you will not be able to see that communication. Voice is breaking. Okay. Okay. So some of communication you will be able to see and some of notification you will not be able to see because some of not published to your role which you have been assigned. So what exactly the logic here is, suppose now we will some of person will complain like that, my colleague is able to see, my senior manager is able to see that particular advisory or communication his to-do list, but I'm not able to see. So why I'm not able to see? Am I audible? Okay, yeah. So again, why somebody is putting again and again comment like that? I'm not audible. Okay, little bit louder. Okay, I will try to be louder. Okay. Okay. So any communication is published for RBI officer, sorry, published from RBI to any entity. So while publishing, if RBI officer select your name, means as a person's name, select your role, what your designation is or what kind of modules role assigned to you, or select your entity for which entity you are working. If some of them or at least one of them is selected, then you will receive a notification. Suppose now while publishing a communication, RBI officer select only CGM designation or CEO designation, user must be able to see the communication. Only the senior manager must be able to see this communication. If RBI officer mark this particular tick or select particular user, then another user will not be able to see that communication because that is published only for selected person. So whenever your name, your email ID, your designation or role on which module you are working, that role is selected, or your entity, if anything out of them is selected, then you will be able to see the communication in this panel. So this is represented by circular. If you want to filter out any specific notification or specific circular, you can just filter out from here. In a business unit, you can see now RBI, means all business units like DOS department, all department of RBI, or PPG sections, or DDS sections, or ACD sections. So all kind of sections publish any communication for you. So if you want to filter out any particular communication out of 100 and 200 communications published earlier, so you can filter out by business unit a communication which is sent by ACD. You can just filter out that, or advisory, or anything like that. So currently here is a small view of communication. So I just want to give you a high view of the communication where it is. Okay. 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 Yeah. So you can see this kind of communication there, and this kind of chart view will be there in upcoming days. Now, important things. Now this is only the minor view. If you want to see in detail, So you can see just by clicking on a view all button, you will be able to see the communication. So what exactly this page contains? This particular page, view all communication page, contains all communication published as of now for you or for your entity. This particular view all communication page contains all list of communication published earlier for your entity or for you. So in that table, you can see the subject of communication. Sir, what is the subject of communication? What kind of advisory subject was? Subject of description of that all communication here. If any file attached, then that attachment here. On which date you received that communication? According to us, means the person who is publishing that communication, that this date will be the published date. But for you, it will be the received date. So on which date that particular communication is being published? So received on an RBI communication. So sorry, RBI point of contact. So this is one new column which we have introduced. Many of time we receive a call like that. What exactly that circular means? What exactly RBI is expecting after going through the communication published to them. So the support team is not a right person to get in touch with, because they are only the support team or application team. They are not the RBI team who create the rules and regulations and who publish the advisory. We are only supporting the applications obstacles. So in this case, we just introduce one point of contact, this particular column here. So whenever any RBI point of contact, uh, this particular email ID, a person who is publishing that communication, that person, the maker user of that publishing communication, his email ID will be captured here. So if you have any doubt regarding advisory circular, so you should directly mail to this person, because that particular person published that communication for you, published that circular for you, published that advisory for you. So whenever you have any doubt about any communication or advisory, so you must get in touch with RBI point of contact. Columns contains this email ID, not to the support team. So yeah, this is the communication we just gone through. Now, third part of the home page is to-do list. To-do list, yeah, to-do list. So now you, yeah, yeah. So we just receiving some mail. Some person was not able to join the meeting, so we will just start for them. Uh, okay. So now we're just going to. Sorry for the interruption. And yeah, so we just finished with all notification panel. So reminder bubble I didn't talk more about. So this is a reminder. So whenever any reminder triggered or sent to you, it might be some system generated reminder according to the compliance due date, return due date, DDS record due date, or any due date. So system generated record will be there, which contains this record, means reminder will be there, reminder notification will be there, which will be okay, we will let you know. So yeah, in a reminders column, sorry, in a reminders bubble notification panel, we contain the all reminders notification. Okay. In a to-do list. Now you can see in my to-do list now multiple users I have logged in my screen. So I will just go through that tabs and show you something. Now you can see my this is also AC maker, a bank user, a dummy bank user. This is our dummy data for showing this particular training. So he's also Imperial bank user. He's also a maker user. Now apart beside him, he's also a maker user. But now you can see the to-do list here is a different. Only the two line items, the complaints work queue is here and user management work queue is here. Now AC work queue is here. Yeah, okay. All modules work queue is here. So why this is so this is because this means first of all, what the to-do list I will just say. So to-do list contains all pending task list in to-do list. So suppose any particular task is triggered for you, for your entity, for any module. So if any compliance published for you, which you have to comply, if any written published for you, if any complaints is there against your entity, so where you have to provide justification for against that complaint. So you will receive a notification that there is a pending task or complaint rise against you in the application, and you have to provide the justification like that, or pending for you. So this kind of notification you will receive in all bubble. So in workqueue, parallelly you will receive a task, what exactly the task you will have to perform there. So in that, when you will be able to see this particular to-do list, so you will be able to see that to-do list. That to-do list performance or view is depend on role assigned to you. Now in my AC Imperial Maker have only two modules role. One is user management role and one is complaints module role. So where you can see which role is assigned to you. So I will just go on through, I will show you where you can see which kind of role assigned to you and what kind of task you can perform. So currently you can see only the two modules role this particular user have. That's why only these two tasks are visible here. Two tasks are visible here. Okay. Yeah, two tasks are visible here. But my another user who is my another user. Okay. Okay. Mm. So yeah, so if user have all bubbles if user have all modules role, then he will be able to see all modules work queue. If user don't have any modules role, then he will not be able to see that particular module. Now, where you can check which kind of role assigned to you. So you can check in your profile, you can go to your profile, you can check my profile. In my profile, okay. Mm, little bit slowness is there. I'm trying to go my profile, but not able to instantly. Okay, it's loading. Yeah, so this is the, yeah. So this is my profile where I can check my professional information, where corresponding information. This is my profile. I cannot update my own profile. If you want to update something in your profile, your designation, your email ID, your some address or something, whatever things you want to update, you will have to get in touch with the support team. Now, where you can check your what kind of role you have. The role tab is here. So once you click on that role tab, you can see the list of roles assigned. Now in the role tab, there are two tables. One is assigned roles, unassigned roles, and one is assigned roles. Assigned roles are those roles which modules roles are assigned to me as a user. And unassigned table, this particular unassigned roles, this particular table contains a list of roles which are not assigned to me at, but are available for me to assign. So you can just check. Now if you have role, suppose now you have inspection maker role, inspection checker role, or complaints module role, inspection compliance module role, but you are not able to see AC compliance maker role, AC compliance checker role, uh, AC complaints maker role, AC complaint checker role. If you are not able, you have all these role, but if you are not able to see uh, task related to those modules, which role you have, it means there is no task triggered for you as of now. That's why it's empty, or that particular module is not visible there. Suppose now if I don't have complaints module role, then complaints module will not be visible here. But if I have complaints module role and still I'm not able to see that complaints module work queue, it means there is no complaints against my entity registered to RBI as of now. So whenever there will be the complaint registered to RBI, then RBI will forward to you. And whenever RBI forward to you for justification, it will appear in your to-do list. So if your colleague is able to see the complaints or returns or any record or any module, and you are not able to see, it means your you don't have, your colleague have that role and you don't have role. If you have role and your colleague have also that role and you both are not able to see that module, that to-do list, it means you are there is no task triggered for you as of now. There is no, RBI didn't send any particular model task for you. So this is all about home page and profile, where you can check your profile, where you can see the notification, you can follow particular notification, where you can see a notif communication, where you can get in touch with a point of contact if you have any uh, doubt or clarification. Wait, I think I will be definitely audible. I'm not using any mics now. So yeah. So we just gone through homepage notification, what exactly to follow, what exactly the all, what exactly reminder, communication, circulars, advisories, what exactly the to do, what exactly the all modules is where you can check your role going to a profile. On my profile, there is tab, roles tab is there. So in a roles tab, you can see what kind of role available for you to assign in unassigned roles and what kind of role assigned to you. But so you can check this and you can perform tasks associated to those models, which role you have and which task you are able to see in your to-do list. Now, there is a maker checker flow everywhere in application. So you cannot check your role here. Means you cannot initiate any transaction. You will definitely receive a notification, but every transaction will come to maker user first. When maker user provide any response and he submit to your internal checker for approval, then only checker user will be able to see. Otherwise, checker user will be only receive a notification of task. He will not be able to do anything because task is not come add to him. Please repeat all in brief. Okay. Yeah, we will definitely repeat it shortly. Again, sir, if you have any doubt, you can put into a chat box. We will try to answer regarding all those things. Yeah, thank. Allow me a moment.
We are seeing that there is a misconception among most of the users how to reply to notifications and communications. ये मैं कई सारे यूजर से ये क्वेरी आया है कि हाउ कैन वी रिप्लाई टू द कम्युनिकेशन which we are received or the notification which we are receiving. So let me clarify here that you are not supposed to give any reply to any of the notifications or any of the communications which you are receiving here. Communication, compliance, return, these three terms are different in a Daksh application. If it is a compliance, yes, you need to submit your response. If it is a return, yes, you need to submit your response. But if it is a communication, communication as in the middle panel in the screen which we are seeing, the RBI communications, the middle panel, if you see some message in this panel, then you are not supposed to reply to that message. Similarly, at the left hand panel, my notification panel, where you are seeing three different bubbles, if you click on the blue bubble, Dipraj, so whatever messages you are seeing at the left hand panel, all notification panel and the middle panel, RBI communication panel, whatever you are receiving here, you are not supposed to reply to that. Your response should always come from the to-do list that is at the right hand side. Now, if you look at the right hand side, what are the work queues present there? Compliance work queue. So if you need to furnish some responses to the compliances, then you need to go to the to-do list and then a compliance work queue. Then you will be able to see the compliance item for which you are supposed to submit your response. In the similar way, if there is any return published and you need to submit, you are supposed to submit the response, then you should click on the work queue, returns module work queue. So always look at the to-do list. बीच में जो communication panel है, that is one way communication. RBI is giving you certain message, you need not reply to that message. Now that leads to the second question which we have received. The user has given the question, we have received one communication regarding submission of compliance for display of flowchart of escalation mechanism. Please pay attention to this question because this question has been raised by several users. The question says, we have received communication regarding the submission of compliance for display of flowchart of escalation mechanism. How can we submit the response because we are not finding any link? Now the communication means what? Did you receive this message in the middle panel, RBI communication? If yes, then it means that RBI has published some message asking you that you please submit the compliance in Daksh portal or submit the compliance for the display of flowchart of escalation mechanism. Now, how will you submit the compliance? First of all, you need not reply to that message which you are receiving in the middle panel, in the RBI communication panel. Secondly, to submit the response to that compliance, you should look at the compliance work queue under to-do list. As we can see in the screen, the first item where Dipraj is hovering your mouse pointer, his mouse pointer, to-do list, compliance work queue. So if it is compliance related thing that you need to submit, then you should click on the compliance work queue. Thereafter, you will see the compliance where you should submit the responses, compliance SE response. Similarly, if any return is published, then you should click on returns module work queue. If any indent is published, if any inspection is going on in your organization by RBI and you need to submit certain information, then you should click on inspection work queue. So there are different work queues for different type of response submission, and those work queues would be populated under to-do list. So whatever messages you are seeing in the my notification and RBI communication, they need not be replied back. What you need to do is go to the to-do list, check whether there is any pending item, and then you can submit your response. Now the third question is, what if I do not see any pending item in the to-do list? My communication says that I should submit the compliance. I understood that the compliance needs to be submitted by clicking on compliance work queue under to-do list. I have done that. But why, when I am clicking on the compliance work queue under to-do list, I am not seeing any compliance. Then what to do? That means RBI has not yet published that compliance for you in Daksh application. अगर आपके लिए कोई भी काम पेंडिंग है तो वो हमेशा टू डू लिस्ट में ही आएगा. अगर आपका टू डू लिस्ट में कोई काम पेंडिंग नहीं है तो आपका कुछ करना नहीं है. So please keep that part in mind. For base layer NBFC users, we give both the maker and checker roles. So that is why all the users get to see which information RBI has asked for, which information they are supposed to submit, and where should they look. They should look at to do list. अगर to do list में आपका blank है, then you need not worry all about at all. RBI has published the communication that you need to submit the compliance, but they have not yet published the compliance, so you please wait. Okay. Now next question, when how to submit the compliance, वो हम लोग next part में दिखाएंगे. Right now we are just answering the queries which have been received so far. Next we are going to demonstrate the compliance module, return module. There we will show you, once you click on the to-do list in compliance work queue, how you can submit your responses to the different paras thereafter. So before that, few of other questions which we have received. Is Daksh application mandatory for all? We have received the communication for one of the entity, but we didn't receive for another. Daksh onboarding in Daksh application is mandatory for each and every entity. अगर आपका 10 एंटिटी है तो 10 को ही वहां पे ऑनबोर्ड करवाना है. ऐसा नहीं है कि एक के लिए नोटिफिकेशन आया है दूसरे के लिए नहीं आया है तो दूसरे का करने की जरूरत नहीं है. ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. जितने भी रेगुलेटेड एंटिटीज है, एक यूजर हो सकता है कि 10-12 एंटिटी से टैग्ड हो, तो 12 एंटिटी को ही ऑनबोर्ड करना है दक्ष में. नेक्स्ट इज, what if registered mobile number is changed, how to get OTP? So this is very good question. If your registered mobile number is changed, then immediately send a mail to Daksh support MUM requesting for change in the mobile number. आप खुद का मोबाइल नंबर खुद चेंज नहीं कर पाएंगे. आपका मोबाइल नंबर चेंज कर पाएगा दक्ष सपोर्ट टीम, दक्ष एडमिन टीम. So please send mail to Daksh support mum@rbi.org.in requesting for immediate change in mobile number, registered mobile number. Regarding this support session, as we had discussed in our PowerPoint presentation, that we would be there is Daksh support team, Daksh help desk team operational every day 9:30 to 7:30. Wherever there is any issue, you please reach us. One user has requested, is screen sharing support available? Yes, of course it is available, but it is not available through the applications which you have named here, like AnyDesk or TeamViewer. जैसे आप खुद यहाँ पे आप लॉग इन किए हैं वेबएक्स के थ्रू, थ्रू वेबएक्स वी विल हैव हैंड होल्डिंग सेशन ऑल्सो. इफ योर इशू is not resolved by email or by phone call, then the support team can guide you through hand holding session over webex. जैसे आज हम लोग as we speak, अभी जैसे हम लोग webex में स्क्रीन शेयर करके दिखा रहे हैं आपको, बिल्कुल उसी तरह आपका स्क्रीन शेयर करके webex में सपोर्ट इंजीनियर टीम देखेंगे और आपको हैंड होल्डिंग करेंगे, आपको गाइड करेंगे कैसे क्या करना है. नेक्स्ट इज, generic email ID. There is one company which has two different directors and they are having different email IDs. They have requested to give generic email ID. Generic email ID यहाँ पे हम लोग allow नहीं करते हैं. Since both of your directors have different email IDs, it is suggested that they should log in through those email IDs. Okay. So if, since the directors have their own individual email IDs, there is no need for any separate generic email ID. उनको रेगुलरली दक्ष में लॉग इन करके देखना है कि क्या नया चीज आया है. उनका काम आप खुद करेंगे नहीं जेनरिक ईमेल आईडी में लेके. Next, how to deactivate one account and activate other account. There used to be two different users. One of the users have left the organization. So the request is how to deactivate one account and activate another. The response is similar what I had given earlier. You need to approach Daksh support team, Daksh support mum@rbi.org.in. Now, for all such cases, since last 3-4 minutes, whatever responses I have given, for all such cases, please do not just pick up the phone and ask the user to do it. No support engineer is going to service your request on the basis of phone call. You need to send specific official email that I need change in the registered mobile number, I need to activate this particular account, I need to deactivate this particular account. We work only on the basis of written email. So please do not waste your time by picking up the phone call and requesting over phone. The better way out is send a mail to the Daksh support team, and it may so happen that even before your making a phone call, they would have serviced your request. Okay, so creation of user ID, active deactivation of existing user ID, all these things, onboarding of new users, all these things can be taken care by the support team. You simply need to send an email to that support email. Another question is, what is the difference between Daksh and the Prova portal? So the thing is, there are different applications by RBI. There is Sims portal, there is Daksh portal, there is Prava portal, and the purpose of these portals are different. Supervised entities are required to be onboarded on all these applications. तो प्रभा पोर्टल जो है, प्रभा पोर्टल is managed by the Department of Regulation within RBI, and various regulatory approvals are given through Prova portal. What about Daksh? Daksh is managed by Department of Supervision. So Prava is managed by Department of Regulation for giving regulatory approval. Daksh is managed by Department of Supervision for supervisory functionalities. The activities, the business activities which you have already obtained the regulatory approval for, वो आप सही तरह से in accordance with your regulatory guidelines, whether you are conducting your business or not. That is the purpose of supervision. So for that supervision, we need Daksh application. So this is the difference between Daksh and Prava. One user has given one very good use case. Please pay attention to this question. The user has said that I am unable to reset password. We have already shown couple of times that there is no default credential. यहाँ पे कोई भी default credential है नहीं. जब आप पहली बार log in करेंगे, उस टाइम पे आप खुद ही अपना password set करेंगे. We have already shown that. Now one of the user has said, I am unable to do that operation also. I am unable to reset my password. If the system shows that you are unable to reset your password, that means either your account has become inactive or your account has become locked. या तो आपका अकाउंट इनएक्टिव हो चुका है, या तो आपका अकाउंट, या फिर आपका अकाउंट लॉक हो चुका है. इन दोनों में से कुछ एक हुआ है. तो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? इसीलिए आपको मेल करना है दक्ष सपोर्ट को, दक्ष सपोर्ट mum@rbi.org.in. आप खुद अपना प्रोफाइल को अनलॉक नहीं कर सकते या फिर डीएक्टिवेट नहीं कर सकते. अगर आप अपना पासवर्ड रिसेट नहीं कर पा रहा है, तो प्लीज सेंड अ मेल टू दक्ष सपोर्ट की प्लीज एक्टिवेट माय अकाउंट और अनलॉक माय अकाउंट. Okay. Now the question is, when and how does a user account get deactivated or locked? If you do not log in to the application for 90 days, अगर 90 दिन आप लॉग इन नहीं करते हैं, तो आपका अकाउंट डीएक्टिवेटेड हो जाता है. और अगर आप लगातार 5 बार गलत पासवर्ड डालते हैं, तो आपका अकाउंट लॉक हो जाता है. 90 दिन ना लॉग इन करने से अकाउंट डीएक्टिवेटेड होगा. लगातार 5 बार गलत पासवर्ड डालने से अकाउंट लॉक होगा. और हर बार जब आप गलत पासवर्ड डालते हैं, आपके मोबाइल नंबर पे मैसेज आता है. सो प्लीज पे क्लोज अटेंशन टू योर मैसेजेस. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू लॉग इन, एक बार चेक करके लीजिए कि कहीं आप गलत पासवर्ड तो नहीं डाल रहे हैं. अगर गलत पासवर्ड डाल रहे हैं तो तुरंत उसको आप रिसेट कीजिए. इंस्टेड ऑफ ट्राइंग द रॉन्ग पासवर्ड अगेन एंड अगेन, please immediately reset the password. So we have received few more queries here. Before that, before answering those queries, we will move to our next session, that is on compliance module. Compliance module के regarding जो भी आपका queries है, वो सब आप यहाँ पे डालते रहिए. And we have received queries regarding some other modules also, regarding communication and other modules also. We will take up those queries as and when we will go through those modules, we will take up those queries. तो पहले हम लोग compliance module देखेंगे, उसके बाद हम लोग फिर से question answer session शुरू करेंगे. Whatever your queries are, please put them in the chat box. Diprash, please demonstrate the compliance module.
Since all doubt has been cleared related to a notification and all things, Uh, Now we are going to a next module, which is a compliance module. So this particular here is a compliance module. So whenever you have any compliance issued by RBI officer for your entity, so you will receive a notification related to that compliance in that all bubbles. You can follow that and continue with this. And you will also receive a task in your to-do list in a compliance work queue. So when you receive a task in your compliance work queue, it means you have that role. That's why that particular to-do list, that particular work queue is appearing there, and that's why that particular thing is appearing there. Now, if you are able to see it, your colleague is not able to see it, means your colleague don't have that role related to a compliance module. So what kind of role you need to have? So for that, AC compliance maker role or AC compliance checker role. So first record will come to maker user and maker user will submit it to checker user, compliance checker user. So person who have AC compliance maker role or AC compliance checker role, they will be able to see work queue in their to-do list as per the flow goes on. But once when it will appear first to maker user screen, the person who have AC compliance maker role, I'm repeating, a person who have AC compliance maker role, he will receive task first for all triggered compliance from RBI. So now uh, we just done with the compliance. Sorry, not done with the compliance work queue of the compliance. Now we're just opening this, what exactly the compliance task you have to perform, how it will look. So once you click on a compliance AC response, that particular task in a compliance work queue, so you will be navigated to this page where you can see the search criteria compliance AC response. It is a compliance list which has been published by RBI as of now for you. So RBI published some of compliance for this particular user for this particular bank last year. Uh, well, on 15th of, yeah, when it was, yeah, on in 2025, there was there in 2026, this newly added compliance is there. So you can see this particular search grid here, where this particular search grid here, you can see the list of compliance published as of now. You can see the subject of that compliance. You can see the updated by which business unit this that particular will make it the search criteria, but it is okay. So now this is the updated by which business unit that particular communication compliance has been published for you. That business unit name will be there, whether it is a DOS department, ACD, PPG, which section has published that compliance for you. That particular business unit name will appear here. Updated on this is the field where you can see the list of date of the date of update on which date that particular compliance has been published for you. Now this is the status of each compliance. You can observe here there is a different communication. There is a different. Sorry. Silence, please. The compliance. So there is a different task here. How there is reset password. What do you? The compliance response. So you can see the different type of response here for status of the compliance here. Now you can see the bottom compliance is status is here pending for response new. Then second bottom compliance status is pending for response. Then some of them are partially responded. So what exactly that means? So compliance response pending, it means this is a compliance phase for me, although it is published earlier, but I didn't start work on that. I didn't open that. I opened, so it is uh, I didn't entered anything. I didn't draft anything. So at that time, the status of that particular compliance will be pending for response new. Second status, you can see the pending for response. Second last compliance status is pending for response. It is a situation where you open the record, you draft some record, you submit to it to an internal checker, but you didn't submit a single record to RBI as of now. It is between you, your internal maker and checker. You start work on it, but not a single action para has been submitted as of now to RBI. So in this case, the status will be pending for response and compliance partially responded. This is a third type of status of the compliance. So In this case, what will happen? You suppose there are 10 action paras. You responded, you complied 5 action paras and submitted response to RBI, but 5 are pending. So at that time, partially it was responded. There was a total 10, and you 5 submitted and 5 had to respond, or it is in between your internal maker and checker. So at that time, status will be compliance partially responded. So this kind of status will be there, which you will be able to see in the future or even now whenever the full compliance journey. So we just gone through a search criteria or search page or list of the compliance page. Now we just recently added will be always on a top. So I will just open that top compliance just by clicking on that hyperlink. Sir, please also in Hindi. Okay. ओके सो जैसे ही कंप्लायंस जो भी रिसेंटली आपके लिए कंप्लायंस पब्लिश किए जाएंगे आपकी एंटिटी को आपकी बैंक के लिए जो भी कंप्लायंस पब्लिश किए जाएंगे वो सारे आपको यहाँ पे ये टू डू लिस्ट में देखने को मिलेंगे जैसे ही कोई भी कंप्लायंस अगर पब्लिश होता है तो वो टॉप पे आएगा कंप्लायंस के डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्टेटस अलग अलग स्टेटस होंगे स्थिति होंगी जहाँ पे कुछ कंप्लायंस का स्टेटस होगा पेंडिंग फॉर रिस्पॉन्स जिसका मतलब कि पेंडिंग फॉर रिस्पॉन्स न्यू जिसका मतलब अभी तक आपने वो कंप्लायंस ओपन नहीं किया देखा नहीं भले वो कितने दिन पुराना हो लेकिन आपने अभी तक हाथ नहीं लगाया जब तक आप उसे ओपन नहीं करते कुछ काम स्टार्ट नहीं करते तब तक उसका स्टेटस चेंज नहीं होगा तो जब आप अपना कंप्लायंस का स्टेटस आप कंप्लायंस ओपन कर लेते हो और उस पे कुछ काम स्टार्ट कर देते हो कुछ ड्राफ्ट रिपोर्ट कुछ कंप्लेंट्स का रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट अपने इंटरनल चेकर के पास सबमिट करते हो या फिर कुछ ड्राफ्ट में रखते हो तो उस स्थिति में उस मतलब उस टाइम पे उस पर्टिकुलर एक्शन कंप्लेंट्स का स्टेटस होगा पेंडिंग फॉर रिस्पॉन्स न्यू हट जाएगा क्योंकि वो अभी तक पुराना नहीं रहा आपने काम स्टार्ट कर दिया और कुछ कंप्लेंट्स का स्टेटस होगा कंप्लायंस पार्शियली रिस्पॉन्डेड इस तरह से तो अगर आपका कंप्लायंस 200-300 एक्शन पैरा का होगा और उसमें से आपने 200 या फिर 20 कुछ एक्शन पैरा का रिस्पॉन्स आरबीआई के पास सबमिट कर दिया है तब आपको उस पर्टिकुलर कंप्लायंस का स्टेटस चेंज होते हुए दिखेगा कंप्लायंस पार्शियली रिस्पॉन्डेड सो इस तरह से और जो भी नया कंप्लायंस पब्लिश होगा वो टॉप पे रहेगा और जैसे ही हम क्लिक करते हैं उस कंप्लायंस पे ये पेज हमें देखने को मिलेगा तो जैसे ही हम ये पेज ओपन करते हैं यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो you can see here the compliance ID. You can also click on that particular arrow and see a detail of that particular compliance, a corresponding detail of that particular compliance just by clicking on the arrow you can see assurance number category of this particular compliance its confidentiality how many action paras that particular compliance contains how many of them are actionable how many of them non-actionable what is the due date of that particular compliance which department RBI department published that particular compliance which RBI department is going to super monitor that particular compliance so these all detail you can see here now you can collapse that particular corresponding information if while publishing that particular compliance if RBI officer attach any attachment that you can download from here refer from here primary document and reference document you can collapse it now you can see again the same detail here is a progress bar. It does not mean that particular bar does not mean that compliance has been submitted means complied. Whatever you have submitted that is 50% is complied. It's not it's not indicating that. It's only indicating that 50% task you perform. Whether whatever you have performed it is valid or invalid, it's at to decide. It's only giving information about what you have submitted whatever you have submitted it's correct or wrong it's at to decide जो भी आप यहाँ पे देख पा रहे होंगे कि एक्शन पैरा 6 है तो टोटल मेरे कंप्लेंट्स के जो भी एक्शन पैरा है ये सारे एक्शन पैरा 6 है इसमें से नॉन एक्शनेबल 0 है नॉन एक्शनेबल एक्शन पैरा वो एक्शन पैरा होते हैं जिसके लिए आपको कोई रिस्पॉन्स दिया देना नहीं पड़ता कोई सबमिशन देना नहीं पड़ता वो बस आपकी इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए होते हैं जिस इंफॉर्मेशन से आप अवगत हो ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन आपको दी जाती है इसीलिए वो नॉन एक्शनेबल होता है वो जस्ट आपकी रीडिंग के लिए होता है एक्शनेबल एक्शन पैरा नंबर 6 है एक्शनेबल एक्शन पैरास आर दोज एक्शन पैरास वेयर यू हैव टू प्रोवाइड द रिस्पांस एक्शनेबल एक्शन पैरा वो एक्शन पैरा होते हैं जहां पे आपको रिस्पांस सबमिट करना पड़ता है आपको आपका जवाब कुछ अटैचमेंट के साथ देना पड़ता है, इसीलिए उनको एक्शनेबल कहते हैं। यू हैव टू टेक एक्शन ऑन दोस एक्शन पैरास। सो टोटल एक्शन पैरा सबमिटेड। यहाँ पे आप, मैं आई एम रिपीटिंग अगेन, मैं फिर से दोहराता हूँ कि एक्शन पैरा सबमिटेड, सबमिटेड है, कंप्लाइड नहीं है। सबमिटेड मींस एक्शन पैरास आर सबमिटेड टू आरबीआई, नॉट एट टू कंप्लाइड और नॉट कंप्लाइड। आपने सिर्फ सबमिट किया है, अभी तक उसमें से कितने कंप्लाइड है और क्या कंप्लाइड है, ये आप इससे, इस पर्टिकुलर स्टेटस से या फिर इस पर्टिकुलर अकाउंट से ऐसा अजम्पशन नहीं कर सकते कि तीन कंप्लाइड हो चुके हैं या फिर तीन आपने बस सबमिट किया है। So yeah. Now you can see there are two tables on my screen where the list of action paras index is there and one is action para in detail. Now in index side table you can see, आप यहाँ पे भी देख सकते हो कि दो टेबल्स मेरे सामने हैं, दो पंक्तियां मेरे सामने हैं। एक पंक्ति में यहाँ पे सूची है जो कि मेरे एक्शन ऑब्जर्वेशन से, निष्कर्ष है, निरीक्षण से, उसके ऊपर मतलब इंस्पेक्शन के दौरान या फिर किसी सर्कुलर के दौरान कुछ निष्कर्ष होंगे जिनके ऊपर मुझे मेरा एज ए एंटिटी, एज ए बैंक आपको कुछ अपना उत्तर सबमिट करना है आरबीआई के पास, आपका जवाब देना है आरबीआई के पास। तो वो आपको, या वो सूची आपको यहाँ पे देखने को मिलेंगी। ये सूची में आप देख सकते हो कि देयर इज सीरियल नंबर जो कि एक्शन पैरा का नंबर होगा, एक्शन पैरा आईडी, एक्शन पैरा ऑब्जर्वेशन मतलब डिस्क्रिप्शन होगा, और ड्यू डेट। ये ड्यू डेट ये बताता है कि आपको कौन सी डेट तक, कौन सी तिथि तक आपको वो कंप्लायंस को, वो निष्कर्ष को जवाब देना है। अगर आप अपना जवाब उस तिथि के बाहर या फिर वो तिथि चले जाने के बाद अगर सबमिट करना चाहते हो तो सिस्टम आपको अलाउ नहीं करेगा। आपको अपना जवाब उसी दिन, उसी तिथि के बीच में, उसी तिथि के अंदर या फिर उस तिथि के दिन ही आपका जवाब देना पड़ेगा। सो ये सारी तिथि, सारे एक्शन पैरा, सारे निष्कर्ष के लिए एक ही तिथि आप देख पा रहे होंगे। और स्टेटस, स्टेटस हर एक एक्शन पैरा के लिए अलग अलग स्टेटस है। हर एक एक्शन पैरा की अलग अलग स्थिति आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो। और जो भी मैं एक्शन पैरा यहाँ पे सिलेक्ट करता हूँ, जो भी लाइन आइटम में इंडेक्स में सिलेक्ट करता हूँ, सूची में सिलेक्ट करता हूँ, वो सारा यहाँ पे मैं डिटेल में, साइड वाले टेबल में, साइड वाली पंक्ति में मैं देख सकता हूँ। अब स्टेटस से मैं आपको इंट्रोड्यूस कर, मतलब स्टेटस की मैं पहचान कराना चाहूंगा। पहला स्टेटस आप देख सकते हो, बैंक, सॉरी, पहला स्टेटस, पहला एक्शन पैरा, पहला निष्कर्ष स्टेटस है मेरा पेंडिंग फॉर रिस्पॉन्स न्यू। ये सेम स्थिति है जिस तरह मैंने पहले एक्शन पैरा का स्थिति, सॉरी, कंप्लायंस का स्थिति, जैसा ही यहाँ पे एक्शन पैरा का स्थिति है। एक्शन पैरा मुझे पब्लिश हो गया, पूरी लिस्ट के साथ मेरे पास आ गई, और जो भी निष्कर्ष है उसके, जिसके ऊपर मुझे मेरा जवाब देना है आरबीआई को, मुझे कुछ एक्शन लेके, कुछ क्रिया करके मुझे जो देना है, तो वो मैंने अभी तक नहीं दिया। मैंने उस एक्शन पैरा को जस्ट सेव एज, मतलब ओपन करके रखा, ड्राफ्ट करके, सॉरी, ओपन करके रखा ना। मैंने अभी तक उसको, उसके ऊपर कुछ उत्तर जमा किया है ना, कुछ मैंने कुछ टेक्स्ट टाइप किया है। इसीलिए यहाँ पे अभी पेंडिंग फॉर रिस्पॉन्स है। So whenever action para is available for you with a status pending for new, pending response new, it indicate that you didn't start work on that particular action para at. As you can see, the response type is blank for me. The status, every field on my this particular section is blank because I didn't start work on it. So when I open, but I didn't start work on it, at that time, that particular action para is new for me. Now I will introduce you the second action para here. The second action para की स्थिति से मैं आपको पहचान कराना चाहूंगा कि second action para जो है उसकी स्थिति है submitted for approval. यू कैन सेव इट एज अ ड्राफ्ट ऑल्सो। सपोज जैसे कि मैंने अभी एक्शन पैरा का जवाब ऐसे जवाब, जो भी मुझे जवाब देना है उस निष्कर्ष का, उसका अ, उ- वो मैंने जवाब डाल दिया, रिकॉर्ड कर लिया, और उसे मैंने सेव एज, यहाँ पे आप बटन देख पा रहे होंगे, सेव रिस्पॉन्स, उसे मैंने सेव कर लिया। तो वो मेरा, जिस जो कि मेरा पेंडिंग फॉर रिस्पॉन्स न्यू था, उसका स्टेटस चेंज हो जाएगा रिस्पॉन्स ड्राफ्ट करके। और अगर मैं वो मेरा ड्राफ्ट किया हुआ सबमिट करता हूँ आरबीआई के पास, इफ आई सबमिट दिस पर्टिकुलर रिस्पॉन्स टू आरबीआई और टू माई इंटरनल चेकर, then status will change to submitted for approval. Now try to log in now Daksh portal previous. मेरा दूसरा एक्शन पैरा जो कि दूसरा दूसरा निष्कर्ष है, उसका स्थिति, उसका स्टेटस ये है कि सबमिटेड फॉर अप्रूवल. दिस काइंड ऑफ स्टेटस यू विल बी एबल टू सी व्हेन एक्शन पैरा इज सबमिटेड टू यूर इंटरनल चेकर. जैसे कि आपने एज अ मेकर, आपके पास टास्क आया, आपको ऐसी स्क्रीन देखने को मिलेगी. आपने उस इंडेक्स में उस पर्टिकुलर लाइन आइटम पे क्लिक किया. उस लाइन आइटम पे क्लिक करने के बाद आपने देखा आपके लिए वो पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन एनेबल हो गया. आपने यहाँ पे रिस्पॉन्स टाइप किया. रिस्पॉन्स टाइप करके आपको लगा कि आपका रिस्पॉन्स जो भी आपने सबमिट किया है वो पूरी तरह से कंप्लाइड है सारी सिचुएशंस में वो कंप्लाइड ही कंसिडर किया जाएगा. तो उसे आपने आपके अकॉर्डिंग कंप्लाइंट मार्क किया और आपने सबमिट कर दिया कि आपका जो अभी ये आपका जो जवाब है उस कंप्लायंस के लिए वो आपके अकॉर्डिंग सफिशियंट है. तो आपने उसे कंप्लीट कर दिया और सबमिट कर दिया आरबीआई के पास. नाउ यू सबमिट इट टू आरबीआई एंड नाउ you submit to RBI, but before RBI, one approval is required, which is required from your internal checker. आरबीआई को भेजने से पहले आपको ये एक अप्रूवल चाहिए आपकी खुद की इंटरनल चेकर से. तो जिसके बाद इंटरनल एज अ ऐसी कंप्लायंस चेकर का रोल जिसके पास होगा, उसके लिए ये एक्शन ट्रिगर होगा. मतलब उसके लिए उसकी टू डू में पेंडिंग होगा. आपके इंटरनल चेकर के अप्रूवल के बाद ही आपने सबमिट किया हुआ रिस्पॉन्स चला जाएगा आरबीआई के पास. और अगर आपके इंटरनल चेकर के पास वो पेंडिंग ही रहता है तो उसका स्टेटस आपको देखने को मिलेगा सबमिटेड फॉर अप्रूवल. और आपके इंटरनल चेकर ने अगर वो रिजेक्ट किया, इफ इट इज रिजेक्टेड बाय योर इंटरनल चेकर, then action para status will be changed with rejected, which we can see in a index item action para item number 3. The status of that particular action para is rejected. 3 नंबर की जो सूची है, सूची में जो तीन नंबर का निष्कर्ष है, उसके ऊपर आप देख सकते हो कि उसकी स्थिति रिजेक्टेड बताई गई है. ये ऐसी स्थिति उस वक्त आती है जब आपने एक्शन पैरा आपके इंटरनल चेकर को सबमिट किया और इंटरनल चेकर ने उसे रिजेक्ट किया. इंटरनल चेकर ने रिजेक्ट करने के बाद उस पर्टिकुलर एक्शन पैरा का पर्टिकुलर निष्कर्ष का स्थिति चेंज हो जाता है रिजेक्टेड. और अगर आपने एक्शन पैरा सबमिट किया आरबीआई को, मतलब आपके इंटरनल चेकर ने अप्रूव कर दिया और वो एक्शन पैरा का रिस्पॉन्स चला गया, वो निष्कर्ष का रिस्पॉन्स चला गया आरबीआई के पास. When after your internal checker, the response of that particular action para submitted to RBI, so status will be changed to response submitted, not to for approval, response submitted only after approval of your internal checker. Now, if whatever response you have submitted, जो भी आपने जवाब दिया है उस निष्कर्ष का, और आरबीआई ऑफिसर ने उसे अगर कंप्लाइड कंसिडर कर लिया, तो आपको उसका रियल टाइम स्टेटस देखने को मिलेगा कंप्लाइड. और अगर आरबी ऑफिसर ने उसे नॉट कंप्लाइड कर कंसिडर किया तो आपको स्टेटस दिखाई देगा नॉट कंप्लाइड. सो दिस इज द ऐसी सिचुएशन होंगी जो पे आपको अभी मतलब ऐसी स्थिति होंगी जिससे आपको पता होना चाहिए कि हर एक स्थिति का मतलब क्या है. अगर न्यू है इसका मतलब आपने अभी तक कोई काम स्टार्ट नहीं किया है. अगर सबमिटेड फॉर अप्रूवल है इसका मतलब आपके इंटरनल चेकर के पास पेंडिंग है. जैसे ही आपका इंटरनल चेकर अप्रूव करेगा इसका स्टेटस सबमिटेड फॉर अप्रूवल से रिस्पॉन्स सबमिटेड हो जाएगा. और जैसे ही आपके इंटरनल चेकर ने अगर रिजेक्ट किया तो उसका वो आपके लिए ओपन हो जाएगा, आपको रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट करना पड़ेगा और उसका स्थिति हो जाएगा रिजेक्टेड. When it will be submitted to RBI and RBI officer considered it as a compliant, then status will be there, a real-time update with a compliant status. You no need to provide a response, no need to work additional on that particular action para. और अगर आरबीआई ऑफिसर ने उसे नॉट कंप्लाइट कंसिडर किया, देन इट विल अवेलेबल फॉर यू टू प्रोवाइड योर नेक्स्ट रिस्पॉन्स. जैसे कि मेरा छठा सूची में छठा निष्कर्ष आप देख सकते हो नॉट कंप्लाइट. सो नॉट कंप्लाइट वो आरबीआई की तरफ से नॉट कंप्लाइट कंसिडर किया गया है. जो भी मैंने उसका जवाब दिया था आरबीआई उससे सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है और आरबीआई उसे रिजेक्ट करती है आरबीआई की तरफ से. तो जब आरबीआई रिजेक्ट करती है या फिर नॉट कंप्लाइट कंसिडर करती है तो आपको उसका स्थिति जो जो है वो आपको नॉट कंप्लाइट देखने को मिलेगा. So you will be able to see here a not compliant when RBI reject it, when RBI considered it as a not compliant. एंड व्हेन यू कीप इट एज अ ड्राफ्ट विथ योर क्यू, जब भी आप एज अ मेकर यूजर, जब भी आप किसी भी एक्शन पैरा को रिस्पॉन्स ड्राफ्ट करके रखते हैं, अटैचमेंट अटैच करके रखते हैं, लेकिन सिर्फ सेव एज ड्राफ्ट करते हैं, इसे आपको अपने इंटरनल चेकर को सबमिट नहीं करते, तब आपका स्टेटस होता है पेंडिंग रिस्पॉन्स ड्राफ्ट। तो ये हमारी सूची और उनकी स्थिति है। एक्शन पैरा जो भी निष्कर्ष है, सारे निष्कर्ष, उनका ड्यू डेट और उनकी स्थिति। ड्यू डेट मतलब अंतिम तिथि, उनकी अंतिम तिथि, और उनकी स्थिति से अब हम अवगत हो चुके हैं। और अब हम डिटेल में देखेंगे कि हर एक फील्ड का मतलब क्या होता है, हर एक एक्शन पैरा का। सो वी विल जस्ट गो थ्रू द डिटेल व्यू ऑफ each compli action para, what exactly each field means and what exactly we'll have to do there. Okay, so now I have selected action para number three, second. मेरी सूची में से दूसरा जो भी ऑब्जर्वेशन है, निष्कर्ष है, वो मैंने अभी चुना है। और जैसे मैंने चुना है, यहाँ पे मेरी सेकंड पुश, मेरे दूसरे वाले साइड वाले टेबल पे, साइड वाले पुष्ठ पे मैं अभी देख पा रहा हूँ कि एक्शन पैरा आईडी, यहाँ पे मतलब अगर एक्शन पैरा, दूसरा एक्शन पैरा को कोई सब आईडी रहती या सब पॉइंट रहता, तो यहाँ पे वो पॉइंट रहता। मैं अब अगर मैं पीडीएफ पे क्लिक करता हूँ, तो जो भी मेरा एक्शन पैरा है वो मुझे पीडीएफ में डाउनलोड हो जाएगा। अंतिम तिथि आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो, ड्यू डेट देख सकते हो 31st। मुझे अंतिम तिथि से पहले मेरा रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट करना है। अगर मैं अंतिम तिथि तक नहीं देता, इफ आई एम नॉट एबल टू सबमिट अ रिस्पॉन्स बाय ड्यू डेट, देन आई सपोज टू रिक्वेस्ट फॉर एक्सटेंशन। यू विल हैव टू रिक्वेस्ट फॉर एक्सटेंशन, देन ओनली यू कैन सबमिट द रिस्पॉन्स। अगर आप अंतिम तिथि से बाद अपना रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट करना चाहते हैं, तो आपको उसके लिए अप्रूवल लगेगी, और जो कि रिक्वेस्ट ड्यू डेट एक्सटेंशन से मिलेगी। और आप यहाँ पे there is a text area response type here, you can type your enter your text area here. Complied and not complied is also here. According to you, if you want to submit anything, you can mark and if मतलब जो भी जवाब आप कोई भी निष्कर्ष के लिए देना चाहते हो, तो अगर आपके अकॉर्डिंग वो एक्शन पैरा का जो भी आपने जवाब दिया है, वो फुल्ली कंप्लीट है, कुछ और इंफॉर्मेशन देने की जरूरत नहीं है, और आरबीआई जो भी आपने इंफॉर्मेशन दी है उससे सेटिस्फाई हो जाएगी, ऐसा अगर आपको लगता है, तो आप उसे कंप्लीट करके सबमिट कर सकते हैं। और अगर आपको लगता है कि आरबीआई, आपने जो भी रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट किया है उससे आरबीआई सेटिस्फाई नहीं होगी, और आपको और ज्यादा टाइम चाहिए होगा उस पर काम करने के लिए, या फिर you will require more time to work on that, so you can submit your response with your in real time status। अगर आपको कुछ नई सिस्टम बनाने को बोला है, कि जैसे your आपकी जो कस्टमर सपोर्ट सिस्टम है, कस्टमर मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम, या फिर कोई भी इंटरनल आपका सिस्टम है, जिसके लिए आपको एक पॉइंट ऑब्जर्वेशन हुआ है कंप्लायंस में या फिर इंस्पेक्शन में, जो कि आपको कंप्लाइंट करना है, लेकिन ऐसे ही मतलब इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल टू डेवलप एनी पर्टिकुलर एप्लीकेशन विद इन 2 to 3 months, इट्स रिक्वायर मोर टाइम। सो एट दैट टाइम यू कैन अपडेट विद टू आरबीआई ऑफिसर, लाइक विद considering it as a not compliant, but we are working on it with your real time status. So RBI officer will not consider it as he will not consider it as a complaint or not complaint, he will consider it as a work in progress। अगर आपका ऐसा कोई एक्शन पैरा है, ऐसा कोई निष्कर्ष होता है जहां पे आपको अपना जवाब जो भी आप दे रहे हो वो सफिशिएंट नहीं है, इनकम्प्लीट है, या फिर उसे कंप्लीट करने के लिए आपको मोर टाइम चाहिए होगा, उसके लिए जो भी डेटा चाहिए उसके लिए आपको मोर टाइम चाहिए होगा, ज्यादा टाइम चाहिए होगा, तो तब आप जो भी वर्तमान स्थिति है उस वो एक्शन पैरा की, वो निष्कर्ष की, उससे आप आरबीआई ऑफिसर्स को अवगत करा सकते हो, ये नॉट कंप्लाइड मार्क करके, क्योंकि आप खुद उसके रिगार्डिंग कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं हो, इसीलिए आप उसे कंसिडर कर रहे हैं कि नॉट कंप्लाइड, और ये हमारी स्थिति है, हम इस पे काम कर रहे हैं, और आने वाले ये डेट तक, प्रपोज ड्यू डेट, तो आप किस डेट तक अपना अगला रिस्पॉन्स देंगे, या फिर अपना अगला स्थिति देंगे कि हमने लास्ट मंथ हमने ये किया था, इस मंथ हमारा ये टारगेट है, और इस मंथ तक हम ये कर चुकेंगे। तो ऐसा आप ओके, तो ऐसा आप बता सकते हैं। ऐसा नहीं कि आपको अगर पूरा मतलब आपके पास पूरा रिस्पांस कंप्लीट हो तभी आप सबमिट कर सकते हो। आपका रिस्पांस अगर वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस है, तो भी आप अपना रिस्पांस नॉट कंप्लीट करके आरबीआई को सबमिट कर सकते हो, और वर्तमान स्थिति से उस निष्कर्ष की आरबीआई को अवगत करा सकते हो।
Now you can see. So there will be the cycle, means you will submit response to RBI officer, and RBI, sorry, your internal checker will approve it, then it will be sent to RBI officer, then RBI officer will consider it as a not compliant. ऐसी भी स्थिति आ सकती है कि जहां पे आपको अपना रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट करना है आरबीआई को। तो आरबीआई को सबमिट करने से पहले आप सबमिट करोगे अपने इंटरनल चेकर को, और इंटरनल चेकर ने भी अप्रूव कर दिया तो जाएगा आरबीआई के पास। और आरबीआई को जो भी आपने सबमिट किया है, आरबीआई ऑफिसर्स को जो भी आपने सबमिट किया है, तो आरबीआई ऑफिसर उससे डिससेटिस्फाई होंगे, उन्हें लगता है कि और काम करना चाहिए, तो उस टाइम वो नॉट कंप्लीट करेंगे और आपको सेकेंड चांस देंगे रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट करने के लिए। तो आप अपना जो भी पुराना रिस्पॉन्स है, जो भी आपने रिस्पॉन्स सबमिट किया है, तो आपके अकॉर्डिंग तो वो कंप्लीट था। तो और एग्जैक्टली आरबीआई क्या चाहता है वो आपको कैसे पता चलेगा? तो आप नीचे देख सकते हो, यू कैन सी डाउन देर इज अ रिमार्क एक्सटर्नल, in the remark section view all remark. In a remark section there is a two sections, one is internal remark and external remark, sorry, internal comment and external comment. internal comment मतलब ये कम्युनिकेशन है आपके और आपके इंटरनल, मतलब या एंटिटी के बीच का कम्युनिकेशन है, ये आरबीआई को पता नहीं चलता, आरबीआई को ये सेक्शन दिखाई नहीं देता। आरबीआई ऑफिसर सिर्फ आपका ये ऊपर वाला सेक्शन जहाँ पे आपने पुराने पुराने रिप्लाई क्या दिए थे, आपका अभी का क्या रिप्लाई है, आपने इसे मार्क क्या किया है, कंप्लीट मार्क किया है, तो ये आरबीआई ऑफिसर डिसाइड करेगा इसे कंप्लीट करना है या नॉट कंप्लीट करना है। अगर आरबीआई ऑफिसर नॉट कंप्लीट करता है तो आपको नॉट कंप्लीट करके इसे स्टेटस दिखेगा, जैसे कि मेरी छठी सूची में छठा निष्कर्ष जो है उसका स्टेटस है, उसकी स्थिति है। और नीचे okay, और एक्सटर्नल कमिट में कुछ रिमार्क देगा। तो आपको आपने नॉट कंप्लीट करने के बाद आरबीआई क्या चाहता है, आरबीआई ऑफिसर व्हाट एग्जैक्टली दे आर एक्सपेक्टिंग व्हेन ही दे विल कंसीडर इट एज अ कंप्लीट, यू कैन सी इन एक्सटर्नल कमेंट सेक्शन। ये जो एक्सटर्नल कमेंट सेक्शन है, यहाँ पे ब्रैकेट में एसएसएम फाइनल है, यहाँ पे जो भी मॉनिटरिंग बिजनेस यूनिट होगा, डॉस डिपार्टमेंट होगा तो एसीडी आएगा, पीपीजी आएगा, कोई अलग सेक्शन होगा। तो जो भी वो पर्टिकुलर डिपार्टमेंट, आरबीआई का वो डिपार्टमेंट क्या एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है आपसे, वो रिमार्क में डालेंगे। तो यू विल कम टू नो फ्रॉम दिस सेक्शन को आपको अपने अगले रिस्पॉन्स में क्या देना है आरबीआई को। अगर आरबीआई ने रिमार्क के साथ आपको कुछ अटैचमेंट भेजा है रेफरेंस के लिए, तो आप उसे यहाँ से डाउनलोड कर सकते हो। तो यू कैन सी, सपोज ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपने पहली साइकिल में सबमिट किया, आपने इंटरनल चेकर ने अप्रूव करने के बाद आरबीआई ऑफिस